Not everything is black or white. This is why we choose to challenge facts and opinions by going straight to the gray area. This is the Great People Podcast.
Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome back to the Great People Podcast. This is Randy. I'm back for another episode. I'm here with Sean,
Yo.
Raina.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right, so this episode we are going to be talking about open relationships.
Relaciones
dudes-
abiertas. I'm just
Mhm.
kidding.
Those violencia sexual.
Violencia sexual. No, that's
So-
something else.
So we're gonna be like talking about do's, don'ts, will or will not, that sort of thing. So I'm gonna start off with Raina first. Then, yo, Raina, what you doing? You gonna do an open relationship or nah?
I don't think it's for me.
Okay.
Right now, I can't speak for the future,
Okay.
but as of right now, it's not for me.
Ooh, pressure's on Randy. How do you feel about that answer?
It would be
Randy?
funny if it's like it's definitely for me.
Well, I
Yeah.
feel like
Anything's possible.
that's what that's what I was gonna ask. Like, so could it be open? Could it be for me? Like, shit. Well, honestly, here's the thing. No, I definitely like. I don't think I would be open to like an open relationship, but I do think it's a little unnatural how we go about like relationships. And we can talk about
Like
that in a
what
minute.
part? Like monogamy or
Yeah,
the open?
monogamy,
You
yes.
think monogamy is unnatural?
It is, I think.
You know what? Okay, because I was all right. So I was gonna take it there for a second.
Wait! Before you take it
Yeah,
anywhere,
what
what do
about
you?
you?
What about you?
Oh, I thought my answer was already clear. No, not
Okay.
for me.
Okay.
Not for me. But I understand it.
Mm.
I understand it because I feel some people could really go about their business, do their thing, come home, live a functioning, house loving family type of style. I believe that
Yeah.
could happen. For me, no, I can't do that. I don't want my girl to be doing that. But I could understand. I don't pass no judgment.
Yeah.
Do you think that could happen though, Raina? Like you on the same page with that?
Um.
Or do you not? Or you can't really grasp like, yo, like how do people just go out?
I
there and
do
it?
understand people who choose to be in open relationships. That's perfectly fine because I feel like it's either like people who are just very sexual or people that just love people and they're not just tied down to like one gender. That's pretty cool too. So I don't know. I just feel like for me, I'm just too possessive and I'm just too jealous, I guess, to
At least
see
you're
someone
honest.
else being intimate in any way, whether that be physical, emotional, whatever. Like I just can't handle that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I can see that, and I think I try to think of obviously again, it's never really crossed my mind in any of my previous relationships. Even I've never been like, oh, like I wonder what it would be like if we all just kind of. But I do wonder kind of like what drives that psychologically. You know what I mean? Maybe you're like, you know what, like I really don't have this feeling of like you're mine. I've never felt like that, so I've never really understood where people want to look at me like you're mine. You know what I mean? And I wonder
Yeah.
like ultimately what drives someone to be like, I'm cool with it. I don't know.
Yeah, because what is it? I was watching an episode with Lisa Lee. I think that's her name, and she did this whole thing about like swingers
Hmm.
and stuff like that. How functioning couples and they just go to these events and they have these swinger parties, which is cool. Everyone's fucking each other, whatever the fuck they're doing. And I'm like, all right, well, I can see that, and these people seem happy outside of it. But then again, I'm like, is that a door I would want to open?
Well,
You know what I
and
mean?
look at it like this, right? I think about
You're like literally.
what's behind door number two. Ah, I'm just kidding. No, but think about like just ultimately like I have this view sometimes of like sex in general. You know what I mean? I think like when
Whoa.
when I when I was younger, right? I like making out and stuff was like ew, right? Like it was like this crazy thing. And
You
then you
said ew?
grow. No, like I'm saying, like as a kid, you look at people making out and you're like, ew, oh my god, like what are they doing? Ew, like right? Like it's like it's
It
almost like
turned me on.
it's crazy. Well, no, and I'm saying,
Okay.
and you get to an age where then you're making out and it's
Yeah.
whatever, it's right, is what it is. And then maybe you're not having sex yet, so then sex is like the nasty. That's like the like oh my god, ew, like I can't. And then you start having sex and you're like, yo, sex is cool and it's just sex. At the end of the day, it's an act of like passion or whatever, right? So I think if you take the person away, if you just look at it as an act, like would you make out with anybody? Yeah, probably, right? If you were single or whatever the case was, right? Then I almost look at it like sex just being the next step up. I could see how someone just looks at it, yo, sex is just sex. I don't know why
Yeah, I just
people
gotta get
make
my
it this.
nuts off, and that's it.
Yeah, so
Dang.
I don't know. Like I
No,
look at it.
I mean that's kind of how it is, right? Because it's natural. It's not like this
Yeah,
is a
Yeah.
feeling
so
that's
that's what,
not.
like for me. Sometimes I look at it objectively like that, and I think, you know what, sex at the end of the day, like we are the ones that give it this whole meaning of like it's like
We put it on a pedestal.
I gave you my life, and yeah, and like, oh my god, like I had sex with you, so it's sacred, and and I think we do that as people.
I think we do that
Yeah.
too. I think we really look at sex generally and be like, or even attractiveness towards wherever we're attracted to. We walking in the mall or whatever. We're like, damn, that girl, that guy look good, and it's almost like we're forbidden to even have that thought. Like, why do I feel guilty thinking like that?
Yeah, see, and that's what, going to what I said earlier. That's what I think is unnatural.
Hmm.
I think going back to the times of really when economy kind of started, when you started having people that own land, and then all of a sudden you had cattle or whatever, and all these things. You started having a wife so that you could track down your kids, because that's who was going to inherit your stuff.
Hmm.
Back before that, it
Yeah,
was
you
the
have a
whole
bunch of
tribe.
bastards running
Oh
around.
my gosh.
I don't know if you're mine.
Well, it was the whole
Trying to
tribe.
take my money,
And at the end of the day, everybody
my 3
everybody
sheep.
everybody took everybody took care of everybody back then. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. But then you start
That is
having,
how it was. Oh, yo, that
you,
actually, yeah, everyone was fucking everybody
yeah, and there
because
was,
everyone's kids was everyone's kids.
exactly. But then it became a, like, this is my property, so I want my property to go to my kids. So how do you know who's your kid? You have sex with one woman and that's it. One
Yo,
woman and that's it, right?
yeah,
So I think then we start having this thing, and then we beautified it, right? We put it
yeah,
as marriage, and it's this beautiful
yeah. Let's tax
ceremony,
write
and
off.
the the tax write off,
Well, an
the
open relationship
proposal.
doesn't have to be like somebody married
No,
and
no,
then with somebody else.
but what I'm saying is, all those things. It's
It
ultimately
added
we
up.
did that because of economy reasons. It's not natural. We
Hmm.
didn't. We weren't from day one Uga Ungas and Punga Pungas, right? Like,
Punga pungas.
that's the girl. Punga Punga's the girl. Uga Unga's the guy.
Punga punga sound pretty good.
I know, right?
That's a kind of
She sounds
sexy native name.
she sounds pretty hot.
Punga punga.
No, but what I'm saying is, we weren't like, yo, you're mine, I'm yours, and that was it. No, like, this happened
It was like
later.
I need to fuck. You or who I fuck.
Yeah, and again, the natural course took place back
Yeah.
then, but now we have this whole, like, well, that's my wife. Don't touch my wife. That's my property. Whatever, right? Like, that's my
Yeah.
wife.
I
don't
love
I don't
her.
like the term property.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, 'cause that's
Yo,
how we
Raina,
treat it. That's
real quick
she's
though,
mine.
real quick. So you know how we kind of, Randy kind of jumped on the whole thing where a
Mhm.
guy had land and then got a wife and blah blah blah. How would it be though? Maybe just because I'm kind of sick in the head and I don't mind being submissive in a way. How would it be if the woman ran the world and the woman had a bunch of guys running around this bitch? Like, hey, slave, you go over there,
My
you lay
sex slave.
down, dick better be hard. I'm gonna jump on you, and then I'm gonna go to the next guy over.
I got things to do.
I got
You know?
I got things to do, and you guys gotta go back in the field and work. Yeah, because that's true too. I believe. I mean, it depends on the girl. Let's be
I don't
real.
think anybody heard what she said, so you might want to say it.
Yeah, my bad. Because there's this theory that girls can orgasm more than guys over and over and over, which that
It's been
that
proven.
seems to be the case somewhat, But some girls can only go once or twice though, and then they kind of done for the night too. Either way, we're getting
No,
off the point
no
here.
orgasm shaming, guys. Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. If you haven't, try to. Anyways, so, but Raina, how would you feel? Do you feel like you could live in a world like that where you're the one picking the guy, and these are my guys?
I feel like it sounds good in theory, but what am I supposed to do with all these guys? That just sounds like a lot. Like it definitely will make you feel powerful, because it's like you're the one in charge. But I'm just like, what am I doing with all these guys?
Well, but
No puedo con uno. What am I doing with the rest of them?
well, here's the thing. I think at the end of the day, the natural thing would be that, like, as a guy and girl, like, without having to put the power on one side or the other, like, our closest descendants, is that what they call it? Like, the monkey, the chimpanzees or whatever,
Chimpanzees.
the the primate, our
Primates.
our closest relatives, the
Okay.
primates, right?
Hmm.
It's what it is. They get with everybody. Like, it just, it's just
I wouldn't
what
say
it
that though,
is.
because in the animal kingdom though, there's that one alpha guy
Well,
that be running shit,
no, and again,
and no other guy can like be
besides
touching
the
those
power
girls.
trip, I'm talking about like the sex act. Like I don't think there's very few animals that are monogamous.
I'm
The
very
penguin,
confused
for
now.
example, penguins get one and they marry and they
Yeah,
love,
and that's
you
it.
know. But
The
it's not
guy carries the egg for that long, whatever.
exactly, but it's not normal in the natural world, and I think we've made it unnatural, and it's just what it is everywhere now. It's not necessarily like in the U.S. or anything like that, but everywhere in the world is this is my wife, this is my family, these are my kids, and you have the whole conflict always there.
Question, because you're going with a direction about sex, right? I'm
What
assuming
it's
there's
about.
no. I'm gonna assume that there's people probably having open relationships to fulfill
Emotional
like
or
emotional like
spiritual,
gaps or
everything,
whatever. Like
all the corners of a
yeah,
relationship,
because I don't think it's
emotional,
just
spiritual,
sex. I'm
physical,
sure there's like people
just doing it
seeking
for it. Like, yo,
yeah,
I'm just trying to fuck
but I'm
around.
sure there's other reasons that people have open relationships. The person might not be able to give you, they're not emotionally available to you, so you need that part still, like any human
It's
would.
almost like having multiple personalities, and you just have them all in one basket. Like, this guy listens to me. This girl touches me. This girl understands the Bible the way I like it
Oh
to
my
be
gosh.
understood.
Well, it could be right. Well,
No,
I guess you probably don't have open relationships if you care about the Bible that much.
So as far as like the definition, it just says having more than one romantic or sexual partner at a time.
That's a
yeah.
good point. Obviously, it's not all about sex. I could see why someone would wanna, and I think at the end of the day, it does get sexualized. I don't think because there's two people involved at the end of the day, or multiple people involved. If I'm one of the guys that this girl has an open relationship with, she might look at me as like, oh, he just understands me, right? But in my side, I can guarantee you there's some sexual feelings. There's always sexual feelings one way or the other, is I guess what I'm saying.
Mm.
So I think
Have
it
you ever been invited into an open relationship, Randy?
no.
Raina?
No.
Now, my folks at the Gray People Podcast, they got it on lock for all the things in the gray area. But if you're looking for more content, maybe something a little bit different, head on over to allrock.com. That's ALLRAWK.com. We have podcasts, YouTube videos, and so much more. Come over. We'd love to have you. Again, that's allrock.com. Now back to the Gray People Podcast.
I wouldn't have the energy. It really just comes down to it. I wouldn't have the
You
energy
don't
or
even
the
have
mental
you don't even have the mental
capacity.
energy at this
Nah,
moment.
I wouldn't have none of that to handle more than one person.
All right.
But
Hey, it's honesty.
and then I don't know. I just feel like it's weird. Like I don't. I mean, I'm assuming that the concept of an open relationship is very different than just a monogamous relationship where you're expecting affection and all these things. Like if it's an open relationship, I guess like Randy said, most of them would just be sexual, and I'm just like I'm not into like just having a sexual relationship, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
No.
at this point in my life, I'm looking for obviously like meaningful
Yeah.
relationship, longevity with someone.
So I used to work at this store, and this couple always came in. I thought they were just together, and they were just kind of weird. And then finally, they started talking about themselves, and they were like in one of those relationships. They were in a very open relationship. He would hold her hand, blah blah blah. Her husband comes in,
What?
and that's when I was like, "Oh, shit's about to go down." What? And then all of a sudden, the husband's like, "Hey, honey, here's some money for this item," and I'm sitting there like, "What the fuck?" And then he's like, "All right," and then says, "What's up?" to the guy and dipped.
Wow.
And then the guy like smacks her on the ass and was like, "Yeah, does that make you hot?" Like some shit like that. And I'm sitting here like, "What the hell?" And these weren't attractive people. This wasn't like a series where I was like, "Oh damn, I can get into an open relationship." I was like, even these people got multiple like feeling partners, whatever the hell they're doing. Like I was like, "Yo, there's a lot of
He
support."
said even these people.
Like this woman has a lot of support, and this woman does not look like she should have a lot of support. And I was like, okay, well, this is how the world is. Because these guys, they looked very content.
Mm.
And they were like, he came in because it was like this whole like verification thing,
Mhm.
and he was the person in charge. So the husband had to come in while the side guy that I assumed the guy was there mostly for physical support because they were
Mhm.
very like
Touchy
touchy
feely.
feely. But yeah, I don't know. It was a trip for me. I was like, okay, well, I don't think that's for me, but I'm glad other people in this world really are doing it.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of crazy, like, and for me, when I think over open relationship, I sometimes don't even think like actual relationships. I picture just the maybe two people that have a relationship and they're open to other people being in the mix, even if it's not fully like a thing. You know what I mean? Like a
See, I
picture.
think you're confusing it though, because I feel like when you say in the mix, it's like that person is involved with the both of them, but it's
No,
normally
because
like me and you, and then I'm involved with someone completely different that has no relationship, I guess, directly with you, and then
yeah,
you doing the same
but
thing
see,
with
like,
someone
I
else.
think
so
it
by
could be multiple
definition,
things though.
by
Because
definition,
because if you're like all together, wouldn't that just be a polyamorous
no, but
relationship?
that's what I mean. Like, I picture polyamorous relationships being like what Sean described, which is there's a guy that's there doing the
Mm.
physical, and then there's a husband and there's a wife. I picture an open relationship being where the husband knows the wife is hooking up, but who she hooks up with is none of his business.
Yeah, that's what
He
I
doesn't
thought.
care. You know what I mean? And I picture that openness of like, oh, like, where were you? Oh, I was hooking up with some dude. Nice. Um, hope you have a good time. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what I
Hope your
picture.
needs are met.
Would it, and also
You
aren't
better
like
get yours because
swingers
I'm gonna
like
get mine.
also like kind of like a different category because they're not,
Well, but swingers is
they're just doing that
if I'm
together
wrong,
for
if I'm
that
not,
night.
yeah, like if I'm not wrong, swingers are like the two of them out there doing stuff as a couple with other people,
Yeah.
right?
To
Where
the point, or there's some in some way they are involved over the
yeah,
phone, through FaceTime, in
yeah,
person,
like they're
or they're just letting them know, hey, I'm about to get my rocks knocked off. I'll call you back.
yeah, then I could picture that. But yeah, open relationship, I guess the husband doesn't care if the wife is out there doing things, and the wife doesn't care what the husband does with his free time either, you know. And then they come together, no pun intended. But then eventually they when they're home and they're together, then they're together, you know.
Apparently, though, from what I gather from like people that have been in open relationships or swinging relationships, they always talk about their relationship so strong. Like, oh man, there's so much trust between us.
Well, there's gotta be, right? Cause shit.
Yeah, and I sit back and I'm like, let one thing slip and this whole thing come tumbling down.
let
Like,
let her buy something on Amazon you didn't approve of and watch the
you
shit burn.
know, like I was like, watch her just get hit just right. And then she's like, you know what, man, you really ain't shit. Or some girl take care of your man so good, and he's just
That's
like,
all he wants to do
and you're just
next.
like, that's all I can think of now.
No, and then see that's what's crazy. Like
Mm.
honestly, like I wonder like how much of that is even insecurity between us. You know what I mean? Like for me
Like
to
between me and you.
no like like humans.
Oh,
No
okay.
like
I
in
was like, oh,
humans.
Randy, I don't
Like I'm
know.
saying like how much of like monogamous relationships also boil
Mhm.
down to insecurities. Like you know
Yeah.
what? Like I don't want her to like get a dude that's gonna lay down the pipe better than I do, and then what am I gonna
How?
do? She's
But
gonna,
Facts.
you
I
know.
mean, how would that be? I don't know if that would be
It's
an
not my worry,
insecurity.
but I'm wondering if it's as a collective, if there's some of that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely out there. Like, yeah, I mean, go find out. You'll be back.
Yeah.
And if you're not, then shit.
like in
May the best man win.
like that old school bachata says, yeah, "Tu muere aquí," like you'll be back. Anyways, no, but I don't know. I do
No,
wonder, but
it's true, but because that point, I do feel like that's more of a man thing. Because
Mm.
I feel like women, in my opinion, women are more expressive and more open and more understanding to that shit. Where they're like, if they want you, it's more of an emotional thing,
Mhm.
less physical. Don't get me wrong, the physical
yeah, the
thing,
physical is
like a
part
mean
of it.
cherry on
It's got to
top.
be there, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be there, cool.
Yeah.
But it's still more emotional. For guys, I feel like we're just easily like, I wouldn't say contempt, but we're just easily like, oh yeah, this is cool,
Yeah.
you know, and then we just go with it. Most guys are like that.
So would you guys be worried more that your significant other, if you were in an open relationship, that she would be too emotionally attached to the other person, or that he's doing her better than you guys?
I
So
think they're
here's the
doing
thing.
better than me. I'm
That's
like,
what
that's
you'd be
what
worried
I'll be
about.
worried about that shit. I don't.
Yeah,
Why?
I'm definitely
No,
emotional
don't.
enough.
If you were in an emotion in a open relationship and you're with somebody else, I'd be like, what secrets is he
No, no.
telling
So
her
here's the thing.
that he's not telling me? That's what I'd be thinking. Nah,
So here's the
I'm
thing.
like,
Reina.
So here's the thing. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm pretty confident in my skills in between the sheets. I'm comfortable with my skills.
He's like, I
But
have threesomes lined up.
yeah, no, no. But what I'm saying is,
Crazy makeout sessions.
that's what I would worry about though. Again, I'm confident about my skills, but I would definitely like if my girl was out there doing shit, I'd be like, damn, like I wonder if this
What?
motherfucker.
This is the third time she's out
Yeah.
this week. What the
Shit,
fuck?
like, is this the same guy?
Every time she
Like-
walks in the house, she's bow-legged. What the hell's going on here?
Like, I definitely
Last time I made her that, it was like 5 years ago. She said she got used to me.
No, honestly, that is at the core of probably my fears with an open relationship. Is, dude, imagine that.
I mean,
like-
no, that's honesty. Because if I was in an open relationship and you're gonna tell me, oh, she really likes talking to him more, I'd be like, oh, cool. Like, thanks,
Nerd.
you're doing me a favor. They're probably not even fucking, you know. Then all of a sudden, boom, he's beating the brains out of her. I'd be like, well, now she doesn't have no energy for me.
Well, no, imagine that. Like,
That's
she
a very selfish thought.
no, but imagine that, bro.
No, because I'm trying to give her all my feelings too, while I'm beating the brains out of her.
Imagine that, bro. She comes in one night and she's telling you about like, yo, like he was hitting spots I didn't even know I had.
Bitch.
Like,
What spots? I thought I knew them all. I thought I was Columbus in that shit, discovering all the worlds. Here to find out, there's more worlds.
what do you mean? What do you? Could you
And then I hit her with the like.
like, could you explain like where? Could you show me so I could do it? Like,
I know.
That would
Where
be
like,
on the doll
only
did he
he
touch
knows.
you? Where on the doll? Like, God.
Yeah.
You know how not even embarrassing, how frustrating. Imagine being
To
like
your ego, though.
yeah, to your ego. But imagine being like 30 years old and you guys were good, and you're like, I mean, obviously there's always something more to learn.
Yeah,
But it's
obviously.
like, damn, what if you're that far behind in the game and you're like, I've been
I've been
scooting
slacking.
the chair on this bitch.
Sean's biggest worry. I've been screwing the chair.
I've been scooting the chair when I thought I was rocking the fucking house.
He's like, I was rocking the boat, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I could see how obviously like, and it's a generalization, but because there's plenty of women out there that are all about the sex and all about the physical, but I could see how like the emotional pieces where women or a lot of women will be like, oh, I don't want him telling her that he's been sad or whatever, and sharing those like his childhood memories.
Well, because what's
I'm
that
the
one
only
thing with Will Smith's wife? What
An
did she call it?
entanglement. That's
An
different.
entanglement. Now, an entanglement, that's more like cheating,
No,
right?
no.
Right? Did Will Smith know? They said that they were on a break, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
They were kind of split up
Yeah,
for a
that's
little
what
while.
Ross
Yeah.
tried to explain that on Friends too, and
Yeah.
it didn't fly.
Yeah.
very well.
So, but my thing on that, because there's so many levels to it. Because open relationship can mean a couple things, could mean different things to different people, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Have you guys been in a open relationship that you guys didn't know about?
yes,
You have?
yes, I didn't know
I
I
have
was in
to.
it.
I have to. If I,
I thought it was kind of like a side solo act. Apparently, the bitch was with somebody else, and then I was like, "Hold up, bitch! You out here just giving out coupons for free?"
Damn.
those are the worst open relationships.
Like, because it's like I wouldn't care if I knew about all the other guys too. Like, if I would have known about the other guys too, that's still cool because we ain't together. But to know the fact that you're actually with somebody and then with more people, and then I'm over here like, I'm just sitting here like, you had enough
You're-
time to do all that and then come over and suck my dick?
Were you at the bottom of the food chain?
No, actually. I was in the middle, which hurt even more. Because I was more accessible. Let's just say that the girl already had her starting quarterback because she loved him. But she definitely wanted to look around the roster.
Yeah, you were the.
And I was one of the guys in the roster where it was like, oh, I was getting a lot of attention. And I thought, and I knew she was with the main guy.
Did
and I was
you
like, oh,
want to
that's
get
cool.
promoted?
No, because I was like, I'm down for this. But then all of a sudden I started looking around and I was like, there's a couple more people in the same situation.
See, what's funny is, I guess yours is different because the kind of situation I'm picturing is where she's the only one that knew that there were other people. And then I had to find out the hard way. That open relationship sucked.
Oh, damn. So it was like a Michael Scott situation. If
Yeah.
you guys ever watched The Office when he was dating that girl and he's like, are you cheating on me? And she's like, no. Yeah. And anyways, though, I mean, this whole open relationship thing, I feel like it takes strong people though to do it. and they really know themselves, and
Secure.
they're very secure, like
Confident.
emotionally, mentally. I mean, confidence is one thing too, but I feel like they know who they are and who they want to be. Not saying we don't, but I just feel like maybe I was raised mentally a certain way where it's like, no, being with one girl, that's the right thing to do. If I was maybe born in a society that was more open about it, I, the sexual person I am, I would definitely be a board. Like, hell yeah, everybody,
Yeah.
you're gonna get this, and we're all gonna love each other, and we could all tell each other our feelings.
Whoa. Hold up. Would you guys just chill for a second? Let me get this commercial in. What's up, everybody? My name is Will Wonder, and I started a podcast at the end of 2020. On the Will Wonder Pod, I discuss sports, music, and a myriad of other timely topics with guests weekly, as well as in-depth interviews once a month with interesting people who are doing some pretty incredible things. So if that sounds good to you, check out the Will Wonder Pod wherever you get your podcasts. Now back to Randy, Raina, and Sean.
So let me ask this question, and then you just hit on something, right? The generational kind of differences, right?
Mhm.
For sure, like our parents were a little bit more conservative in that sense than us. It was you had one person and you only had eyes for that person.
Yep.
In our generation, I think maybe it's more public now that it's online, but you see a lot more cheating, you see a lot more stuff. And the new generation, and I say new, like the generation after us, they're a lot more open with like sex
Yeah.
and not having a relationship. Like legit, they'd be like just hooking up with people and be like, yeah, like he doesn't owe me. I'm just like having sex.
I feel like a lot of that though comes back to like the more woman empowerment
No,
too.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I wonder, like in the future, like if we could see, I don't know, 10 years from now, I wonder if open relationships will be more of a thing, like more of a like a normalized thing, where it's like, oh yeah, of course we're in an open relationship. Who gets in a monogamous relationship anymore? You know what I
I
mean? I
think that's just
wonder.
like people dating and not being exclusive. I'm like, I'm still like out here trying to see what fishes are out here in the sea or
Well,
something.
see,
But
but that's the thing. Like even for me, growing up, if I started talking to a girl and we were like talking and like even like making out or whatever, maybe we weren't having sex or anything like that, I automatically thought I was exclusive, and I better not find out that you were over here on the phone with
you
some
thought
dude.
that was
No,
exclusive?
yeah, like I thought for me that was a
I feel like that's a natural instinct to
it
be like,
was
if I'm talking to a girl and when she's talking back to me,
yeah like
she's feeling me, I'm
for
feeling
me
her.
the
I'm not saying, oh, we claiming each other, but it's like
Mm.
for some reason we have this natural feeling of being like we're together.
well
I need
hear this
words.
out. So for example,
Well, there's plenty of
when
words.
No, I need confirmation that you're obviously like.
No, but there's still that
no,
feeling of
but
attachment.
yeah.
Well,
Here's the
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
For me, one of the weirdest things was when I first moved to Utah to start going to college. I was in Provo going.
Polygamy.
No, not that. No, I was in Provo going to. I used to go to UVU, but I lived in BYU housing. Why?
Is that where the threesome
I
offer
don't know.
happened?
No, it wasn't there. No, but the crazy thing was just talking to girls that were going to BYU, for example, and I found out that it's more of an American thing. It wasn't so much like religious or anything, but we
The
would be
move called the
talking.
floating.
No, not that. No. I'll
Oh.
be talking like we'll be talking and we'll be like, oh, like what are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm gonna go on a date with James. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then you know the
It's
next
a
day
very
they'll
common
then
white name.
the next day they'll be with Tommy, and I'm like, yo, like weren't you
Tommy.
with James last night? Like what is this? And then I found out, it's like, oh, we're dating. I'm like trying to see who I like. I'm like, the fuck? I take you out to dinner and like we're yeah. No, like for me it was a thing.
It's
Like it
speed
was
dating.
no, like for me it was a thing. Like it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me that you will go on a date with somebody on Tuesday and somebody else on a date on Thursday. Like if you're dating somebody, I thought there was some exclusivity to that. Like you had to be like, I don't know, maybe not like get married or anything like that, but like, yo, let's see where this goes. And then you know what? It's not working out. I'm done dating you. I'm gonna date this person. That made sense to me. But the cultural difference was that. So I wonder today, right? It's a lot more like that, where it's just like, oh, we're just hanging out, and I'm gonna go hang out with this other dude, and we're gonna have sex, whatever the case is. No, but it's more normal, I guess. At the end of the day, it's becoming more normalized today.
I
Where
mean, we should normalize these things as long as everyone's being safe
no, I
and
agree.
happy and there's communication.
So yeah, I wonder if
So,
it's
Raina, you'd be
As
down
long as
to,
it's not for
you'd be
me.
down to dating 5 different guys in a week.
No, I'm saying it should be normal for whoever enjoys that to feel comfortable to share their
Would you be upset if a
experiences,
guy
but it wouldn't
dated
be for
you?
me.
Would you be upset if a guy dated you on Tuesday and then on Wednesday he dated somebody else?
If
and
it's
hit
a
you-
date, then no,
and it-
because
and-
I understand what dating is.
Okay, but
Unlike
let's
other
say
people
let's
here.
say he's on that date and he hits you up. Hey, let's go on a date tomorrow. Okay, cool. What are you doing right now? Oh, I'm just on a date with another girl, but you were cool.
The thing is, like, if I wanted to solely date someone and I felt like there was a connection, then that's when you have to have like everything's based off of communication. You be like, hey, you want to be exclusive? Yeah, sure, great. So
Off
from
of
that
the first
moment on,
date.
no, I'm not saying from the first date.
Yeah.
After a few dates, if obviously if you
No, but
want to
that's
be
what I'm saying
exclusive,
though. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
first
Real
date.
then
quick.
if that person goes out with somebody else after we agreed on that, then yeah, fuck him.
No, but what I'm saying is, you guys go on a date on Monday.
Hmm.
On Tuesday, he's out on a date with another girl. On Wednesday, he's like, "Yo, let's go back on a date, Rena." You're like, "Yeah, because we're just dating." So on Wednesday, you're back on a date. Thursday, he's back on a date with another girl. This guy's a busy guy. He's on another date with on Thursday. On that same date, he hits you up. Yeah, you
On
know,
the same day that he went out with somebody already.
He's
Yeah,
out with
already.
her.
He's like, "Yo, do you want to go out on Friday? Like, I've been on a couple dates with other girls. You seem pretty chill. Like, want to go on another
Would you be
date?
cool with that?
Are you gonna be cool with that?"
Probably not.
Well, but
Why?
you're saying that
But-
you are. You're saying that as long as
No.
it's not exclusive,
That's
you're
what I'm
fine.
saying.
No. What I'm saying is, for the people that feel like that's fine for them, they should feel perfectly fine saying those
Fuck
things.
their
Like,
feelings. I'm talking about
acknowledging
yours, Irina.
in public that that's what they would like to do and not be shamed for it. Me
Aw.
personally, like I've said, I'm a jealous person. I'm attached.
Oh, so like if you saw the
If
guy
I-
that you kind of liked and he's still doing his thing,
yeah, I'm
and
like,
then he keeps hitting you up, you're gonna be like, "Yo, like I like you. I don't like what you're doing." So you're
yeah,
already
like
gonna
if
let
you're
him
gonna
know.
get a like dedicate the time to me, then sure we can see where that would go and then talk about exclusivity. But my personality is different, you know. But there's other people that would be perfectly
So
fine
what
with that,
we're
and
learning
that should
from
be okay, too.
Reina, guys, the audience, even though she
audience.
is married, she's not okay with open relationships.
No, but see, that's what I was
She's
saying.
against
Like,
it.
like for me, it was that I didn't understand. Like legit, like somebody being out with somebody on Monday and somebody else on Tuesday, that made no sense to me at all. Like I'm like, yo, we're
But think about it, like nowadays where everything is like, you know, on virtual, like on the apps or whatever. You're literally, I mean, I haven't used Tinder myself, but I'm just saying you're literally swiping,
yeah,
getting
but
to know people,
Here's my
texting.
thing, and again,
Because people do that in person, it's
this
wrong.
might-
I don't think that's wrong.
no, this
on
might
a
make
side note,
me-
real quick on that though, I can't imagine how many people you go through in like a day
Hmm.
of like how many profiles that are
he-
active.
Here's my
Not saying
thing.
I'm gonna get all of them, but it's like
Yeah.
you have your hands to that much.
Well,
Like it's crazy. I sit there,
and
I'm like,
here's my
everyone's
thing.
getting fucked.
And here's my thing. Here's my thing, I guess, to kind of, and we'll bring it back to the open relationship stuff. But for me, is if you at that moment, the moment you decided, yo, I'm gonna go out on a date with Randy, I personally believe that every other conversation's got to be dropped. If you want to go out with me and you want to see where this goes, let's figure that out. And if that doesn't work out, then go back to you swiping
I
on
have a
Tinder and
question
do
for
whatever
you,
the hell
Randy.
you wanna do.
Why would you expect that?
hold up.
I'm sure you weren't doing that. You're going to
Yeah,
the
it
club.
was.
You're going to the
Yeah, it
club
was.
asking multiple girls to dance. You don't just stop and dance with
Hold
one
up, hold up,
person
hold
all
up.
night
Hold
and
up.
then be like, you can't
I have
dance
a
with
real quick
nobody
question
else.
for Randy.
Hold
Real
on.
quick. Who the hell you think you are?
No, I'm unga unga, bro. I'm like, no. What I'm saying
You're
is,
definitely
And Randy's your
unga
punga
unga.
punga.
punga punga. No. What I'm saying is, yes, I was doing that, and again, it's different. A dance is different. If you're socializing, dancing, that's different.
Little
If
social
we're-
butterfly
But you're
over
getting
here.
to know people.
No, it's different. Like I'm gonna take you out, and we're gonna sit down and do this. I'm gonna go and take in this romantic adventure and whatever the fuck we're gonna do.
I
Your
know,
romantic
and then-
adventure
if-
was Denny's.
If what was his name, Tommy or whoever the heck this dude was, is taking out multiple people the whole fucking week. He is not doing no extravagant date for
No,
every
but that-
person.
that's what
They're
I'm
probably
saying.
going to
Depends
Denny's.
on his
That is my-
status.
They're probably going to IHOP.
See, okay, we'll get back to the open relationship, but that is my point. When you're doing that, going on somebody different on a date every different night, yeah, it's just you're just cycling through people and almost like trying to find out what this is. For me, I'm like, yo, like let's go, let's actually get to know each
But that's
other.
what people do on Tinder.
Sure, and that is fine, and that's what I'm saying. In the future, there might be a lot more open relationships for that same reason, because people lose the sense of like, oh, I'm trying to get to know this person. They don't give a shit, right? They're trying to get to know everybody, and they're trying to have sex with everybody. So
And-
then you have those situations where it's
But what,
everybody's
are you
open.
saying that that's wrong?
Not saying it's wrong. I'm saying it's different, and it's not what I.
You're just saying
grew
you
up doing.
personally, if someone's gonna date you, they better really be serious about dating you.
Yeah, it's different.
It doesn't have to be marriage, but it's like,
no, like,
but
yeah.
we're gonna definitely be
like
somewhat
if,
serious
if
about
you're
this.
gonna give me your number and
Raina,
we're gonna
you're
go
the
out on
same way.
Friday.
Me?
Yeah.
That's what you said.
That's what you said.
You
Oh,
just
again, I'm not speaking just for myself. Are we only speaking for ourselves? I'm just saying because I feel like Randy's is
No,
giving
you've
it
already
like
spoken for
a,
yourself.
it's giving it like a bad connotation. Like if people wanted to be in open relationships and get to know people,
no,
I don't think it's bad.
no. I don't
As
think
long as
so.
everybody's communicating and everybody's aware of what's happening and they're obviously being safe. I don't know.
See, and that's the thing.
Let them do them.
I think you're definitely misunderstanding me. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. If you're the one going out with a different girl every week, hey, more power to you. Go to discover who you
Why?
are
How
and
do
who
we
you want
get
to
to
be with.
like serial daters
The
compared to
traditional,
open
the
relationships?
conversation came
Almost as
up.
worse as serial killers.
No, the conversation came up because of tradition. Like our generations knew the
Mhm.
one on
Yeah.
one, and that's how we dated, and that's how
Yeah.
we did. And I was asking, right, in the future, do we see potentially more open relationships being more of the norm?
But
Circle jerk.
you need to also like I feel like you have a different
It's a
view
question. I
maybe.
don't have a.
No, I feel like you have a different view than what I consider or what I guess the definition of an open relationship is. There's still a relationship because the way that you want to paint it is that people are just going to be with everybody and never like tied down to someone. No, there's still a relationship and then this person is still having extracurricular activities with other people, but there's still one grounded
No, and
relationship
I
in the
get
middle
that.
of that.
I get
But the
that.
way that you're trying to paint it, I feel like it's just like
You
everyone's
guys are talking
fucking
about
everybody.
you guys
No,
right now are
no.
talking about two different things.
Exactly. Like I feel like
Two
it's
different
like
things right now.
weird. Like
No,
I
no,
don't know.
because Randy's right what he's saying, and you're right what you're saying, and then you guys, both of your ideas are the same, right?
No, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand that there'll be a main relationship.
There's no gray
No, no.
area.
Here, with the people that are with, let's say, the example that Sean gave, this guy that's dating you on Monday, and he's dating another girl on Tuesday, and then dating you on Wednesday. He might consider you the main one he's trying to figure out.
That's not an open
No,
relationship.
I
That's
know.
yeah.
It's not an open relationship, but what I'm saying is there's a main person in that relationship, right?
But there's
Then
no
no,
relationship.
there is the moment you're interacting with someone, that's a relationship. Whether it's a friendship, a professional relationship, there's a relationship when you're interacting with someone.
An acquaintance.
Yeah,
Yes.
there is a relationship because you're connecting with someone in some level. But what I'm saying is taking that up a notch. That's what an open relationship is. You're tied down with one person that you live with. That's your main, and then you're out there doing whatever you do with all the others. So what I'm saying is, culturally, for me, that was different when I came to the States. Just the idea of like, I'm trying to see who I like better between James and Tommy, and at the same time, like going on different dates in the same week. That to me was weird. And what I'm saying is, in a way, right? We're seeing it more and more where today, like you don't have to even have a relationship to have sex. Like in like my dad's generation, my parents' generation,
I was like,
you
don't put your
no
dad on
no
blast. Damn.
no. I'm saying like the generation before us, there was that whole like you were not gonna have sex with no one until you married. That was like fact, and it was like a sin or whatever, right? And it was this
Well,
whole
we know
thing.
who broke that rule.
No, but what I mean is now, right? We're starting to see more like you don't have to be married to have sex, and cool, right? And I think it's great. Don't get me wrong. More power to you if that's what you want to do. But what I'm saying is, I see it where in the future, these open relationships, and again, not a bad thing.
It's just getting more and more open. It's getting
Yeah,
more and more
it's
out
gonna.
there. It's hitting the internet,
It's
TV,
getting less.
everything.
Yeah, it's getting
Taboo.
less. It's getting
These
less
5-year-olds are gonna
exclusive.
be like, I don't need to be in a relationship. I can just do what I want when I want.
Yeah, I guess what I mean is it's getting a lot less exclusive. When I think about a monogamous relationship, it's exclusively between those two people and no one else. When you have an
Anything
open
other than that is called cheating
exactly, and when you have an open
or an
relationship,
understanding.
yeah, when you
That relationship guru didn't think so.
I know, right? But that for me is what I'm saying. Like the less exclusive relationship and interactions become, then the more open relationships you're likely to have is the way I'm looking at it. I don't know.
If your child was in an open relationship, would you just understand the child and be like, all right, cool? Or would you be like, you should really not be in an open relationship?
I would probably understand. Like again, my thing is just people being safe, and obviously the parties involved knowing that that's what's happening. I don't want my child be cheating on nobody.
Hmm.
But
I wouldn't care if he was
Now,
cheating.
what if you're now Rena has a very best friend. What if your best friend was in an open relationship?
that would be fine with me too. Again, as long as both parties know, because that would suck. Like, if she's like, she thinks she's in an open relationship, and that dude is like, no, like
or
if we're exclusive. I'm like, oh shit.
or like my situation where I didn't know I was in an open relationship.
You know,
I just can't.
I'm just like big on communication, and I'm big on just everybody doing what feels comfortable for them. Like I don't feel like there has to be like even like labels and stuff. Like if you are happy and who you're with, you guys communicated and you agreed that you can be with someone else and that person too, then fine, so be it.
Yeah, more power to you.
And the serial daters out there, still do your thing. Get to know those people. Don't settle down.
What what about you, Sean?
Don't
Would
get
you?
offended by Randys in the
No,
world.
again, I don't mind. I don't care. Just for me, it
I
was
shit on the
different.
Randys in the world.
No,
I make them
again.
think they're the only one. I'm just kidding.
What about you, Sean? Your kid, daughter, your
Yeah,
boy, either
honestly,
one.
I just hope my kid is just emotionally tough enough for whatever situation it wants to put himself in.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I don't care. I honestly don't. I can give two shits as long as they smart with where they're going in life, and that's it.
they have. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's it. I have no judgment.
I think I'll be okay too with whatever they decide to do, and I think that's I think it's a beautiful thing ultimately because that's where we're at today.
Yeah,
Like
if
I
my
think
kid don't come out shitting in his hand and throwing it at me, I'm good.
no, what I'm saying is back in the day, obviously there was a lot more like homophobia. There was a lot of different there were a lot more reservations, especially when it came to like sexual things, and I think it's beautiful that today is becoming more of an open thing and more
Man,
whatever you want to do is fine.
I just
It's a
think they were just
180.
they were trying to push that agenda just because they was touching little boys and girls in the background
Oh my
anyways.
god.
And they felt bad about it or guilty, so they were like, "Don't do it," but I'm gonna keep doing it.
Are you talking about the preachers, like
I'm
the?
talking about any of them, any of them. But yes,
Yeah.
them.
No. Anyways, be interesting to see. I am uh, genuinely curious to see like years from now if like the dynamic between relationships change again because I do think it's unnatural the whole monogamous thing and don't look at any other girls and don't have any thoughts about it. You know what I mean? Like that whole thing.
But don't date multiple people if you're dating me.
No, yeah, no, that at that point, yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
You chose to go out on a date with me. Anyways,
We will never
You
understand
know
that,
what
but go
though?
ahead.
I'm curious on what the people think.
yeah,
Like, yo, the people that are listening, they should really really, if they were in one or is in one, yo, hit us up, yo.
yeah, let us know what you think.
Cause I'm not in that life. I
Yeah.
don't mind to listen to that life though.
Yeah, and let us know. I guess another thing, like again on the same question, I want to know if you think it'll become more of the norm. Like if we're gonna see, I don't know, in the next 15 years from now, like tons of people are gonna be in open relationships compared to today. I don't know. I wonder. Leave it in the comments. Let us know what you think. If you've been in an open relationship, let us know. How was that? Was it good? Was it
Knowingly.
bad? Yeah, knowingly. Or were you on one like me where you didn't know you were part of an open relationship? Um, but yeah, let us know what you think. Again, appreciate you guys listening to the podcast. Appreciate all the love, all the comments, the likes, all that. We really appreciate you guys.
Cut.